Hello guys and welcome to my new video. So today I decided to do a little discussion guide about restoration druids in 7.3 and whether you should be playing one or if you're currently playing restoration druid, how do you feel about your class in the next couple maybe months and how it's going to change in 7.3. First of all, there's really no major changes happening for restoration druids. There's no changes in stat priority, there's no really changes in talent choices until maybe the raid comes out, but for the time being you don't have to worry about any of that. You're going to be progressing through Tomb of Sargeras without really changing anything. There's only been some quality of life changes with the rebirth and things like that, which are not really major. But the biggest thing that happened for healers is new mana potion has been introduced, Astral Mana Potion, which restores 479,000 mana, which is almost double the amount that your Lay Torrent potion gives you, and that requires for you to sit down for 10 seconds. So this is going to reduce your mana problems, and for the healers who don't have the mana problems, it's going to allow them to even spam more. But this is not just a Resto Druid change, but it's something to consider. Stockpile the potions, make sure to use them in Tomb of Sargeras. But what about Restoration Druids? Even though the changes, there's no really changes, how do you feel about them? So this video, actually I decided to do this video because there's been a lot of chatter and things like MMO Champion where people been linking logs and been linking Warcraft log statistics for HPS, and they're saying that Resto Druid is the lowest HPS healer and that they're not doing well. While the data is there, HPS logs are not the best way to do it. I actually have a HPS Tomb of Sargeras log here which shows the mythic healer performance for a 50 percentile. So this is basically your average mythic raider, what kind of HPS they'll be outputting, and the rest of the druids are the last, but by a very small margin. And this is actually a really bad measure of which healers are good and which healers are bad, because Restoration Druid, if you're deciding to play Restoration Druid, or if you actually want to continue playing one, you should definitely know, or you should be aware of, that Resto Druids are right now like kind of a niche healer that fits into a specific boss fights where there is a lot of either a lot of consistent damage or there is either a lot of movement, and nearly a lot of the fights in Tomb of Sargeras kind of allow for that. Like, I mean, for let's say Mistress Sajin mythic encounter, while for the first two phases there really isn't that much a Resto Druid can do, but phase 3 where everyone has to move, phase 3 which is arguably by far the hardest phase, everyone has to move, everything, all the abilities are thrown at you at once, Resto Druids can do really well. The same thing can be said about maidens, just because there is a part where you have to move, and having everyone huddled up is going to save lives. Mythical Jaden, from the videos that I've seen, phase 3 method were saying that they were hoping to actually bring two Resto Druids and things like that, just because of the movement and how much damage there was, and Resto Druids is really really help with that. So Resto Druids are really needed healers. They might not show up in the HPS right now. First of all, the HPS difference is very marginal. In Legion, I have to say that the healer balance has been pretty good. There is no healer that actually stands out. Like I mentioned in my previous videos, Paladins and Shamans provide specific utility that is almost needed for raids, but you're not going to like have to bring one. You can bring one, it's going to help out, but yeah, it's not like it used to be in Warlords of Draenor. And for the people who are pointing to Resto Druid HPS is not a great way to measure it. Resto Druids definitely can be very good for all the fights. They can be amazing for certain fights, which is what niche healers basically do. Resto Druids have a specific playstyle with HOTS, healing over time. If people take continuous damage, Resto Druids are going to do really well. A lot of their mechanics, mastery, cultivation, specific talents, even golden traits, deep rooted, rely on people taking a lot of damage. So the less healers you bring, the more damage the raid takes, the more healing you're going to do as a Restoration Druid, because they have specific tools that accommodate for extra healing when people take more damage. So during progression, it's going to be really a lot of healing. And why am I seeing all these low numbers as well? Resto Druid tier 20 set was not the best, and I don't want to go too much into it, but basically because it didn't fit every game style, it didn't fit every boss fight. and a lot of the people who played Resto Druids did not like it because they could not just use it for every fight. They had to change talents, not talents, they have to change gear. Like, I mean, if you have a high tier 19, you probably would use tier 19 over tier 20 anyway. So what's happening in 7.3? In 7.3, you won't get a new tier because that's happening in 7.35. So for the next couple of weeks, most likely 11 weeks or so, in 7.3 you will be using tier 20 or tier 19 if it's high item level. But what's happening in the new raid is that you're going to get tier 21. So tier 21 by itself is actually one of the strongest tiers that we got in this expansion. So the 2-piece, it says gift now applies Dreamer to the target, healing them 400% spell power over 8 seconds. So this is an additional hot that scales on all of your secondaries, including Mastery. It's something that's going to be doing passive healing without you even having to worry about a single thing. The 4th set of tier 21, when you cast Wild Growth, you have a 100% chance to cause your Sayer's Gift to heal a target 400% more frequently for 5 seconds. So this is something that every time you're gonna cast Wild Growth, it's gonna do faster healing. So, like I said, completely passive, very different to what tier 20 is doing right now. It's going to be stronger than most likely than what tier 19 was. If you have a really high item level tier 19, you're going to swap over to tier 21, purely for the fact that tier 21 is going to work really nicely in raid scenarios. It's going to work really nicely in 5-man scenarios, while tier 19 4 set was more of a raid set rather than a 5-man. So this tier set, tier 21, is going to be an overall winner for both raid and 5-man scenarios. And I wouldn't be completely surprised once you're actually going to hit 7.35 and the new raid comes out that your 2-piece tier 21 could do more healing than your 2-piece tier 20, depending on a fight. If like people are spread out, your fluorescence can't do much, and your 2-piece tier 21 could be actually even better. So this is going to be a tier set that you're actually going to be looking forward to actually getting. You're not going to have to look at, oh, is it 20 or 30 item level upgrade? Then maybe I can use it over my tier 19. You're not going to be doing that. You're just going to be picking it up straight up. It's going to be a good healing increase. It's going to be a passive increase. You're not going to even think about it. You're just going to look at the logs and you're going to be doing much better. So this is probably the biggest buff that happened for Resto Druids over the tiers, over tier 21 over tier 20. Besides that, I don't think there's going to be much changes. We're going to have to wait until 7.35. But if you are looking at playing a Resto Druid, or if you're looking at continuing Resto Druid, you should really wait until the 7.35 comes out with the new dungeon, with the new raid. Tier 21 is looking to be good. I'm hoping there's not going to be too many nerfs happening to it. If you are unhappy with what tier 20 has brought, all of this is going to change with what tier 21 is. So it's definitely worth sticking out the next couple of, probably 2 months or so, until the new raid comes out and actually enjoying tier 20. And when 7.3 hits, please make sure to get all those new mana potions. They're going to really help out with your 2 muscle gears progression. It's going to help the people who are actually having mana issues. Most likely with these potions, you're probably going to see maybe a lot of the druids dropping Dark Moon deck promises, the mana regen trinket, to actually go for something more throughput. But we have to see. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the 7.3 patch. There's nothing really to talk about, but let's wait for that tier 21 tier piece. And thank you for watching this little guide, and I'll see you in my next little video.